Welcome, Gym 2s. Today we'll continue with our Galileo Cafe or whatever other spreadsheet you have there that we've been working on for the past 2 weeks. And today we'll learn the magic formula of business, which is the profit equals the sales minus costs. Because so far we've been only working with the sales, and we talked about the VAT, the sales tax. Yeah, that's something you would have to eventually give back to the government because it's not yours really. So today we'll do exactly that. We'll try to figure out what the costs are. So I already have this column here, insert it, but I'll show you how to do that. I'll delete it and then I'll try to insert another column there, which will hold the costs of each of the items, because obviously in order to make an espresso or a cappuccino or a latte or whatever else, it does not cost nothing. It does have a price to it. It's not what you're selling it for. You're selling it for €1, this espresso, but that's not how much it cost you to make it, did it? You need the coffee beans, you need water, hot water that is. So I'll insert a column, which is right click on, let's say B, and then say insert. That inserts a column for me. Now I'm going to estimate the costs, how much it costs me to make one espresso, including all the ingredients. So I'll just make an educated guess. Let's say it costs me 20 cents. Yeah? How about that? Alright, make sure that it's, again, that it's formatted as currency. Yeah, because obviously it is money. Cappuccino might cost me more because that takes the milk and so on. So 0.25, I meant to say. Latte, that's even more expensive because you need to do the steam there, so that's 0.3, let's say. And hot chocolate is quite expensive actually, because a real chocolate, not like fake chocolate, but real dark chocolate is quite expensive. So let's say cost 40 cents per cup to make. And then black tea is quite cheap actually. That will only be like 12 cents, let's say, per cup. Okay. Obviously, I wanna format all of these as currency, so I'm gonna highlight all these, shift and the up arrow I just did, and I'm gonna set it as euros. All right. So these are my costs. Yeah. So I will call it unit costs. How much it costs to make 1 unit of these things. 1 espresso, 1 cappuccino, 1 latte, and so on. Alright, good. Now, oh, by the way, you know what these hashtags are, right? If you remember, that just means that Excel it cannot display the number. It's too big for the column, so you just have to double click on the line between, let's say, J and K to get rid of those, yeah? Because obviously that depends on the resolution, on the size of your screen, on how much you've zoomed in, and so on. There's different factors that influence that. And right now I'm using quite a small screen. Anyway, so I'm gonna create a new column here where I will calculate the total variable costs per item. And you might remember from business studies last year that the total costs equal variable costs plus fixed costs. Yeah, and if you might remember that the fixed cost would be something that does not change with the number sold. Regardless of how many cups of tea I sell, I still have to rent the very same premises. I still have to pay the waiter. I still have to pay for electricity, for lighting, and so on. So those are the so-called fixed costs, which do not depend on the number sold. Yeah? Whereas the variable costs do depend on the number sold. So the more coffee I sell, obviously, the more coffee beans I have to buy, yeah? So those are the variable costs per item. So how do I calculate that? That's very easy. Equals, and I'm gonna say the unit cost times number sold. Yeah? It's very simple. So yes, it is true that I charged €36 for all of my espressos total, but 6 euros will have to be subtracted from that, because that's my variable costs. Yeah. So let's use the magic square now, and now I'm gonna add up all of these. So obviously I need to use the autosum for that. Enter. So my total variable cost for that week, for that given, remember this is just 1 week, we're at 39.83. It wasn't that bad actually. But now how do I proceed to the calculation of the profit? Alright, so what I'm going to do, my profit per item, yeah. How do I calculate the profit? If you remember the magic formula of business, it is that the profit equals the sales or the revenues minus my costs, yeah, or expenditures. So I'll do exactly that. I'll take my sales. Now the question is, shall I take the weekly sales or the weekly sales including the VAT? Well, those of you that guessed that it's the weekly sales, you're right, because remember the VAT does not stay with me. Even though I have it in my cash register, it's not something I get to keep, so I cannot calculate that into my profit, can I? So, weekly sales minus variable costs. Wait, I forgot something, didn't I? Of course I did. Well, unless your employees work for you for free and you have free premises that do not cost you anything, and you have some generators that, you know, solar panels or something that you got for free, and you have water for free and all these utilities for free, unless you have all that for free, you have some fixed costs, don't you? So we'll probably have to subtract that from the weekly sales as well, which we'll get to. So we'll have to calculate that somewhere over here, let's say. So here's my fixed costs. Fixed costs for week 1. Alright, so let's say utilities. Utilities, that's water, electricity, heating, whatever. And we can again estimate it, how much it will cost me per week. Electricity, let's say 50 euros. This is a gross estimate. Then also salaries or wages, weekly wages. Obviously, if you have 1 or 2 servers there, then they will not work for free. So weekly you can pay them, let's say, what do you think, 150 euros? 200 euros maybe? And anything else? Maybe the rent of the premises, yeah, let's say 100, so that adds up to 400 a month. That's not much. So how about 200 per week? Yeah, these are weekly calculations at this point. So again, I need to format this as currency, and once I'm done with that, I'm gonna do the total fixed costs for week 1, which again, I'll just take advantage of the autosum, and these are the fixed costs for that 1 week. Now in order to finalize that profit, this is profit per item, so this is good that we only did the variable costs, yeah, which this tells me how much I made, but that's not the total profit. Now I'm gonna add up these. So this is my profit, but still without the subtraction of the variable of the fixed costs. So I'm gonna do my total profit, which will be as follows: equals this, but still minus the fixed costs. Those were sitting over here, so click that, enter. Ooh, shoot. Well, what does this mean? Well, you see that little minus there? Well, that means I'm not making money, but I'm losing money. Oh, well. I've got to do something about my business, because obviously this model is not working. I cannot be losing money. I have to start cutting corners somewhere, or I have to improve my sales, or do something. So let's say, and this is the beauty of Excel, that you can do projections, the what if analysis, so to speak. What if I, for instance, I increase the price of my items? So espresso will no longer cost €1, but let's say 150. Let's see if that helped anyway. Well, not much, really. Well, let's increase the price of all of those. I'll be selling cappuccino for €2. How about that? Latte for $2.50. Obviously, I don't want to have a coffee shop so that I can lose money. I want to make money, right? Hot chocolate, I will not be selling it for 83 cents. I'll be selling it for €1.20 or €1.50. And black tea, I'll be selling that for €1. Okay, well, good. It's starting to look a bit better, but I'm still in negative, in red numbers, so to speak. So I wanna maybe boost the sales too. So I wanna increase the numbers sold, and so on, so that I can reach at least the break-even point. You should be familiar with terms like the break-even point, the break-even analysis from business studies last year. Yeah, and then we'll be working with this again in Gym 4 in business studies and Gym 5. Yeah, let's see if it's getting any better. Is my profit? Well, I'm still losing money, but I can increase that. Yeah, see how I'm getting better and better. Yeah. Alright. I'm getting closer to it. Getting closer. Maybe I can cut down on some wages. Okay, guys, until we get this business started, you will have to work for less. Yeah. Alright. I'm only losing €82 right now, so maybe I have to be cutting corners elsewhere. Maybe we still have to increase the price of the espresso to, let's say, €2.20, €2.30, and the cappuccino €2.50, latte €2.60. Now let's see what that does. Okay, I'm almost I'm almost there at the break-even point. I still want to increase some of these guys over, so that I can actually, oh, there we go. I finally made some money. €5.55 is my profit at this point. So this is quite an interesting tool that you can use for projection and for carrying out the so-called what-if analysis, where you can project and see what happens when you increase the price, when you cut down on this and that, and so on. And yeah, so give it a shot, everyone.